What causes the pain in labor? And does every woman have to go through the pain? Can I run away from it? I'm going to be answering those questions. So the pain of labor happens because the body, the mom's body, is trying to push the baby out. Okay? And as the mom's body is trying to push the baby out, it's muscles that are doing this work. And when muscles get very tight and pushy, they cause some pain. So a contraction will be tightening, very serious tightening of a muscle to do some work, which is pushing the baby out, and that will cause some pain. Now, the amount of pain is very relative to the different women, and I'll tell you why. But the other thing that's happening is the muscles are tightening, pushing out the baby. The baby is moving to a certain place, and that certain place, which is the birth canal, is opening up. So you have a combination of muscles that are tightening, pushing of the baby, and the birth canal opening up. And those three factors are what makes your muscles elicit some pain. However, because the mom's body is so used to the baby's movement, it rarely or very minimally, if at all, records the moving of the baby as a pain. So the most pain will come from the tightening of the muscles to push the baby out. Now the uterus is in the middle of the stomach. When it becomes tight, it tightens together with the abdominal muscles, the muscles of the tummy. And that is why you actually, if you've touched a woman having a contraction, and please ask for permission before you touch them, because they don't like it. If you touch, it's very tight around the tummy. But it's because the uterus tightens, but together with the wall of the abdomen, they tighten together. But that doesn't just happen on the tummy. The tummy or the abdominal muscles are connected to the back, so it will affect the back to some degree. Remember, the birth canal is not just the birth canal, there's a pelvis around it. So the pelvis expands, so you have pain around the lower back and around the woman's hips. Then remember, the pelvis is attached to the thighs, so some women actually get pain around the thigh. So it's like, briefly, you have this muscle pulls or muscle tightening from, since most pregnant women don't have a waist, let's say from the ribs to just before the knees. And that will last for as long as the contraction lasts, okay? And so the muscles are tight, the stretching gives radiating pain, and that's what you get mostly on the back and on the thighs, and that's what causes the pain. So does every woman go through pain? My answer will be yes. It's just that it depends on every particular woman. So as human beings, we all have our pain threshold. And say, for instance, if I got 5 people and decided to be very bad and hit their leg with a hammer, out of the 5, there'll be those who will be screaming for an ambulance. So we start from that extreme to the extreme of, right now, why did you hit me? Like someone didn't even notice. Because we all register pain in our body very differently. And the same happens to women in labor. You can have 5 women in labor and they all behave differently. And not just 5 women in labor. Every birth is unique to itself. So you can even have one woman, her first birth or her first labor experience is very different from her second labor experience and even her third. So it all just depends on the situation and the circumstance there. So there are women who actually don't feel the pain, but it's just because their bodies, especially at the beginning, go quietly on preparing the body and they only feel it towards the end. So they end up having either very short time in labor or what we call precipitated labor. Precipitated labor is those women who have one contraction and by the next one their baby is coming out. They are the kind of women who always end up delivering at home without planning, or they're in a car going to hospital and the baby comes. They tend to be the ones who have precipitated labor. Now, for the majority of us, you go through the pain progressively, because labor is a progressive kind of event. It's not a 100-meter dash, and I like to use this phrase a lot. It's a marathon. So step by step by step by step by step until the baby comes. And why is that so? Because it's very the human body is self-preserving, so it's really nice to go through that process slowly for the woman and also for her child. So I know we all want to have a very quick labor and birth, but if it goes even 6, 8, 12 hours, it's all good. And especially the early part, because it prepares your body for the active part of labor. So there you have it. Pain in childbirth is real, but it all just depends on you. But I must add, it is one that you can cope with. Thanks for watching and keep with us.